exactly. And that's the one product I was actually going to really talk about with your investors. Investors, of course, if you're able to prove your income uh, with the down payment and you know trying to get a fixed term uh, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, but most investors have multiple properties or they may be business owners. And that's one of the tough things is they really hate to provide the returns to show their income with a lot of the write-offs that they put in there for these properties or their business. So DSCR is amazing. We do not show any income on the application. On the mortgage side that I handle, it's 1 to 4 unit for residential. We have a business side, a business banking group at Happy State Bank. Anything over 4 units would be commercial, and they can still do that DSCR with the commercial group or different options with the business banking. So basically, no income provided on the application.
Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview Texas real estate professionals from active real estate investors, lenders, property managers, and many others that provide goods and services into the real estate investing industry in the great state of Texas. Our goal is simple: to share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and to meet the pros that can help you get there. Texas Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and entrepreneurs build the business they need to live the life that they've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Yvonne Ochoa-Pena, is a senior loan officer with Happy State Bank. She has over 26 years in real estate mortgage field and a previous 10 years as a realtor. She's based out of San Antonio. Yvonne, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's great to meet you, Yvonne. Great to have you on the show here. I lived in San Antonio for about 4 or 5 years, so it's always nice to connect with folks in San Antonio. I'd like to ask you, going all the way back to the beginning, time just getting started in real estate, time as a realtor, how did you get into the real estate space? What were those first couple of years like for you?
Yeah, actually, the reason I did become actually I was even doing both for a while, but now I'm just mortgage. But reason why is because at that time there was less rules going on. Mortgage loan officers weren't setting expectations or providing all the details of a mortgage loan, switching them on some people near the end. And I had a lot of upset buyers that you have to deal with. And I'm like, how hard is it to set expectations, let them know what's going on. If they need to bring so much money, they should be able to know not at closing, time to get a gift or whichever they need to do to take care of it. And it was just happening over and over. I know there was a lot more rules coming out with mortgage, but it was for the good, actually, in some cases, because a lot of people were, they felt like they were bamboozled at the end, not knowing the right terms. And
Sure.
now we have a lot of buyers that are happy that you can set expectations way ahead. And they're like so happy everything came out the way that they were expecting it to come out.
That's a great point. And I got licensed earlier this year as a realtor, so I'm a baby realtor, I say. But also, while I was going through real estate school and then my first couple of months as a realtor, I started to realize that the old way before the rules changed, people would sometimes see their like loan docs like very close to closing. They wouldn't have a chance to review everything in a way. Was that accurate? Was that like the old way of doing things before things
Yeah,
changed?
literally, they got the closing docs, like, literally maybe the day before sometimes or the day of, and now there's a 3-day rule that they receive those documents 3 business days before closing. That's a requirement that they must be able to see what they're expecting to close with or
I can hardly manage a Google Calendar one day in advance, let alone closing on a home. So I can understand the massive burden there. Now, when we talk about getting involved in the mortgage side, I find this interesting that you went that route because I've been thinking about this as a newer realtor, recognizing that the transactions really start and end with the lender, right? So if you're not pre-approved,
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
realtors are going to say you got to go get pre-approved. And so I almost feel like I got into this maybe on the side that I should be looking at later on down the line, but I should have gotten first as a loan officer, being able, especially right now, to help folks and investors get into homes, I think is super important, both to help people get into homes, but then also to kind of level the playing field. Because especially for younger investors, younger buyers, when you're going out and maybe you get turned away for one reason or another, you might think, okay, well, that's it for me. When in actuality, you just need to go talk to another lender.
right. And you're correct, and even if you're working closely with mortgage partners like myself, I keep my realtors, like, in constant education training on my part, so that way they can ask, like, those important questions to figure out what direction this person might need to go. So, just some ABCs of mortgage lending does help you with your clients, and you can, I know you wanna come in with this low of a down payment, but your scores are not there, but there's alternatives, there's this, there's that, you might need a gift, but however there's still ways to make it happen, but getting with your mortgage partner and your realtor on that same base, with those little investigative questions help help us to figure out which direction we're probably gonna help them go through a lot easier. Just because sometimes clients like to talk to their realtor more than their mortgage lender until everything comes out. So it helps that you have that knowledge with your client, like what how they like things, what they like to do, how they like to be contacted, all of that stuff, and then besides that, the mortgage products. Well, there's a lot of different options.
Now, when we talk about the retail side, but then also working with investors, two different spaces. In the investor world, there's so many different options, not just real estate strategies, right? Single family, multifamily, storage facilities, RV parks. But then you've also got how you're going to finance these. And so people are looking at creative financing, seller financing, private money lending, and then, traditional mortgage as well. But there's now, I would say, at least from my 1,000-foot view looking down, there's now, I would say, some changes in the mortgage field that have brought some investor products really to the mainstream, like DSCR.
Exactly. And that's the one product I was actually going to really talk about with your investors. Investors, of course, if you're able to prove your income, uh, with the down payment and, you know, trying to get a fixed term, uh, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. But most investors have multiple properties or they may be business owners. And that's one of the tough things is they really hate to provide the returns to show their income with a lot of the write-offs that they put in there. for these properties or their business. So DSCR is amazing. We do not show any income on the application. On the mortgage side that I handle, it's 1 to 4 unit for residential. We have a business side, a business banking group at Happy State Bank. Anything over 4 units would be commercial, and they can still do that DSCR with the.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Commercial group or different options with the business banking. So basically, no income provided on the application. We are using the rental income that comes out on the appraisal for the property. When they do a market appraisal, we ask them to do market rental appraisal and it'll say this property for this area can rent between 2,000 to 2,500, however. So the appraiser will give the estimated amount that he feels that the rental income can maximize by, as long as that rental income can pay the mortgage that you're attempting with. Normally, I'm going to say 20% down. There are options of higher rates with 15% down, but 20% down is the sweet spot for the DSCR. If you put more, that's fine as well. Basically, the rate is very similar to the market rate. It's a little bit higher, but it's very, very similar. And there's, 30-year fixed opportunities for those. So not only can you purchase with the DSCR, not showing income, using the rental income to pay your mortgage, they do want to verify that you do have higher credit scores. I'm going to say 680 and higher is the sweet spot for the DSCR, and that you have the reserves and can be gifted by whoever for your down payment and closing costs. And they do like to see some reserves. They like to see, up to 6 months of rental payment or reserves for the house that you're purchasing. So there are some little requirements, but all of that can be met. Just say you have a partner, just say you have the credit score and they don't. However y'all want to make it happen, you can do it with an LLC to purchase them. But there's different ways to make the DSCR work for a lot of the borrowers. And they can also do cash out refinances. So once again, they have a lot of equity on a property and they want to do a cash out and they don't want to show their income to get the cash out to buy another property. That DSCR is great. And you can get the cash out, up to I think it's 70% ballparkish on the loan to value. And you can, as long as that rental value is there for that appraisal. Lastly, the DSCR, we now do second liens because a lot of people don't want to touch their first lien if they got it at a great rate. So if they have usually about $75,000 to $100,000 of equity in a property, if they were to do a 70% LTV or 65% LTV, you can take out that equity on the second lien only on a DSCR to get the cash out, as long as the first was not a cash out. The first was just like the purchase loan.
Now, when we talk about DSCR and being able to take into account the ability for the property itself to cash flow, if folks are looking at duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes, would it make sense for them to go straight to a quadplex if they have that opportunity to make an offer on a quadplex, because it's going to have 4 units, so there's more cash flow there? Would that be just as easy and feasible as a duplex?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yes, most people do. The only difference is the sales price. So the sales price is a lot higher, so they have to come in with the down payment for that. That would be the only hurdle that I would see on these DSCR loans. Unlike an investment purchase on a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac, you can ask up to 6% seller concessions, which is awesome. They could, so in other words, a seller could actually pay all your closing costs. You're just worried about the down payment for this
Hmm.
DSCR loan. So on a Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, they only allow 2% as for seller concession.
Now, for folks who are looking at DSCR as a way to have an investment vehicle, but also as a way for them to potentially house hack, is that a viable option for newer investors, or do you really need to be more of an established investor in order to take advantage of DSCR?
No, they just have to have the credit scores. They do want to see, there are some, I guess, investors that might offer a little bit of a better interest rate if they do have the uh, investment property management experience. But in all, that's basically if they have the scores and they have there's an opportunity for them to go in this direction. We have a lot of new investors now hitting the bus on picking up their investment property for multiple reasons. Some of these DSCR loans do give a better option on the rate if they do a prepayment penalty. So that's another thing that you have to think about. Like, okay, how long do I feel like I'm going to be keeping this investment property? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? And if you're planning to keep it for the long run, you might be able to get a better interest rate altogether with a longer prepayment penalty fee on those. But yes, I see a lot of new people jumping on to pick it up to start their investment. And then there's and just a flip on that. Just say there's a first time home buyer and then they have their home for a year and then they're thinking about picking up an investment property. Well, they can actually keep that house that they have. If they're buying another home and turn that into an investment property and purchase the next home. And then here we go, they get a year of experience or however, and then they can use the DSCR loan when they purchase an investment property. So in other words, a person that has a property and looking to buy another home that's not an investment, a primary home, they could turn their property into an investment as opposed to selling, get that rental experience for a year, and then pick up another property with a DSCR loan, and they've now given themselves a year of investment property management experience. So different ways to kind of build your property or portfolio. So
Yeah. I mean, there's the ability to get in and get to yourself experience, as you mentioned, and then it builds on itself because you got the track record. While it's also, an educational opportunity, frankly. And I think a lot of real estate is that way. When people talk about flipping or wholesaling, so much of it is a paid education. And so DSCR is an interesting one because I don't know exactly how long it's been around as a whole, but it does seem to be a trend that there's more interest from the traditional segment in DSCR as well. Now, Yvonne, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go if they're interested in reaching out to you? Maybe they have a property that they're looking for lending on, or maybe they are in the greater San Antonio area and would like to reach out to you about DSCR questions in general.
yeah. And I just want to let you know I can do DSCR loans in any state. I'm Happy State Bank here in Texas. We have 67 branches in Texas. I do all of Texas, but we're also part of Centennial Mortgage. So we actually have like a large corporate bank backing for our bank. So I am able to do the DSCR in any state. So my phone number is 210-363-5167. 210-363-5167. And they can also look me up on the Happy State Bank website. So happy like a happy mortgage. And most people are really happy with our mortgages. Happy State Bank. and they'll look for my name. My name is with a Y, so it's Yvonne Ochoa-Pena, but you'll find me with the Y on that website.
Yvonne, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yes, and thank you, Dylan, and hopefully you come visit your old stomping ground at the Rim, and I'll meet you in person. Yes.
I'll try it when I'm coming out there. I'll reach out to you. Thank you, Yvonne.
All right. Have a great year, Dylan.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. If you're looking to take your business and your life to the next level, you really need to learn more about the Investor Fuel Mastermind. It's your shortcut to success. To learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other amazing entrepreneurs, 100% financing on your deals, member-only discounts, and so much more, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. By the way, Investor Fuel is even Texas-based. Also, if you're interested in applying to be a guest on this very show, the Texas Real Estate Pro Show, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app so you never miss another episode. We'll see you on the next show.